Namaskar. We would like to welcome you all on our journey of brainstorming, journey of inspiration to next generation and knowledge sharing. AYUSH Samriddhi. Thank you. First of all, we would like to communicate our sincere gratitude to all the speakers who have enabled us to continue this journey of scientific knowledge sharing to this 533 webinar, which we can communicate now as a milestone only. Infinite journey of knowledge sharing. Our points are relevant. Our points are to celebrate every day with AYUSH what government of India has communicated just with this year, Dhanvantari Pujan. Now we are starting one great holy series of webinars. I don't know what our efforts will make the change on governments of local countries, but we have taken oath to conduct webinars in minimum 100 countries in this year, along with their Ayurvedic experts, politicians, bureaucrats. Please help our AYUSH Samriddhi platform for this journey. Thank you. Thank you very much again for joining. Without wasting much time, I would like to request Professor Vishnu Prasad Sharma ji. He is ex-principal Guwahati Ayurvedic College and a member NCISM, the core body governing AYUSH in India. Welcome, sir, for your welcome address.
Okay, thank you. Namaskar. Good evening to everybody. Respected Professor V.K. Agnihotriji, respected Professor Pawan Kumar Sharmaji, distinguished guests, eminent speaker, ladies and gentlemen. I, Professor Dr. Vishnu Prasad Sharma, welcome all of you to this evening webinar on strategy to recognize Ayurveda in UK. Most interesting subject. I welcome all the distinguished guests, eminent speaker, ladies and gentlemen, to this evening webinar. In this evening webinar, we have eminent speaker. I want to welcome Dr. Amarjit S. Phamra, initiator and lead secretariat, All Party Parliamentary Group, Indian Traditional Sciences, Ayurvedic Medical Association, London. I welcome you, sir. Namaskar. Again, next, I want to welcome Dr. Santa Goda Gama, founder, patron, British Ayurvedic Medical Association, founder, president, British Ayurvedic Medical Association, London. I welcome you, sir.
Welcome.
Again, Namaskar. Again, I want to welcome Dr. Venkat and Joshi, President, Association of Ayurveda Academy, UK, London. I welcome you, sir. Next, I want to welcome Dr. Palitha Sarasinghi, founder and chairman, consultant, Ayurveda physician, assistant director, and principal lecturer, College of Ayurveda, UK, London. Welcome you, sir. Next, I want to welcome Vaidya Naveen Gupta, Ayurveda Acharya, London School of Ayurveda Limited, UK, London. I welcome all the eminent speakers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, to this evening webinar on important subject, strategy to recognize Ayurveda in UK. because most of the countries, Ayurveda is not recognized. Not most of the countries, few countries. So today we are waiting here from this eminent speaker from UK. Yes, once again, I welcome all of you, eminent speaker, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, to this evening webinar on strategy to recognize Ayurveda in UK. Thank you. Namaskar. Over to Pavanji.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. In my mind, sir, from childhood, it is very clear that British persons were fond of our taste of food, taste of drinks. So they took our food and drink to their country. They lived here approximately for, I'm not historian, but 200 years or more in India. Why they are not fond of Ayurveda? This is my question. When a person will live in India for 200 years, definitely miracles of Ayurveda or Ayush will benefit them, will benefit that, and definitely he should recognize or he should recommend Ayurveda to the world, because British has recommended tea-like thing. We have been circulated and now everybody is fond of tea. It is my humble request to British government also, British official also, that so many researches, a list of researches is there, National Research Portal is there, Traditional Knowledge Digital Library is there, CCRAS is there, Ministry is there. Now what else is needed to recognize a science which is beneficial, safe, effective and non-toxic? If you have objection on some medicine, maybe metallic or poisonous or vish, upavish, you can restrict them only. But our Ayurveda should be recognized by every country of the globe. This is my wish to Lord Shiva. And now I would like to request our first speaker of the day, Dr. Amarjit sir. Amarjit sir has blessed us today with a aim. He is desiring to have Center of Excellence there in London. So we are eager to listen Dr. Amarjit sir. Respected sir. You are mute, sir. Kindly unmute yourself.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
Thank you. So all my distinguished guests on the panel here today, you from London, very cold, very dark, cold London. Wishing you a wonderful, happy and a prosperous new year. So I really want to take a couple of minutes of your time. Thank you for the introduction. Basically, we are making very strong headway here in the UK. And I think the first thing we need to understand is that you've taken this wonderful but very, very subject. And I think first, Dr. Pavanji, I think, with your organization, you need to discuss this, first with your own government in India. Yeah. Because unfortunately, you are not the government. Yeah, you are as passionate on Ayurveda as I am. So you need to take your government's position. You need to understand what is the government of India position and what is the Ministry of Ayush position on its global advances and, the finances. The government of India, Union government, is financing the Ministry of Ayush for this particular purpose to promote Ayurveda abroad. And quite rightly, I agree with you. We have a very remarkable history, between our two nations, United Kingdom and the Republic of India. And so we are, in our own humble way here, with the help that we can get in our own limited way from the Ministry of Ayush, the government of India, and of course, the very prominent high commissioners, that come here to the UK from India. We are making a very strong, very authentic way forward with Ayurveda. And you have, given me the privilege to share this platform with you before, Dr. Pavanji. And I have, spoken to you and Dr. Shanta Godgama, my very great colleague who will be joining us today, and uh, Dr. Venkatji, Joshiji. We have all sort of given you some indications about how, United Kingdom is the first country where a trial is now being put together for research into how Ayurveda can have an impact on British patients who are suffering from long COVID. So this is a remarkable breakthrough in itself, if you really look at this, because like you said, 200 years of history between the United Kingdom and India. So why are British government and the British citizens not accepting Ayurveda, at face value? So this is very good news that this particular trial, if I may just expand on this for a couple of minutes, is a trial which is being in connection with all the clearances from the British government. So our policing authority here, the MHRA, Dr. Godgama will speak to you a little bit more about that in a minute, I hope. So we have taken all clearances, Dr. Pavanji, and this is the first trial outside India that actually meets all the stringent regulations for this trial to be carried out as a medical trial, not as a supplementary trial. So I think, we're on a winning streak here, with all your support and, all the panel members we have here and all our Ayurveda wonderful family from around the world, will rejoice and congratulate the UK government, as the year develops and we get some results coming through in September, October this year. And so this is a remarkable proposition. And the All-Party Parliamentary Group on Indian Traditional Sciences has led this institution, has led this survey to be initiated here. And what is even more important, if I may say so, Dr. Pavanji, is that your own government in India has actually is supporting this financially. So very good sign that we're talking about integration, an integrated approach between various governments. And so I see that United Kingdom is taking a very huge leap for the advancement of Ayurveda, which even India has not been able to front. And India has put its support and its finances behind the study here in London. Very thrilled, we're very privileged that United Kingdom has taken again a precedent in this area. And it's just a question of time before we look at possibly other trials coming through, other surveys that are already being discussed at this moment. So I hope that we will keep on receiving your benevolent support in all the hard work that is being done on the ground here, and more importantly now to galvanize everything here in the UK when it comes to import of specific medications that are being supplied for this trial from India, and storage venue and management for the administration, and a place where future smaller trials can be conducted here, and where treatments can be offered, and where education can be disseminated. So we are now very actively trying to request you, Dr. Pavanji, through you, with all your your admirers of the Ayurveda family, to support us in this initiative to create an Ayush Bhavan here in London, which will be the first center of excellence outside, Bharat. So having said that, I'm sorry if I've taken too much of your time. And I hope that one day in the near future that you will conduct a specific program, a Zoom meeting, so that we can enlighten, some of our friends, from the Ayurveda commerce, Ayurveda trade, and other Ayurveda institutions, who we can give a proper presentation on the proposed center of excellence. And if I can just remind you, this is the center of excellence, which the All Party Parliamentary Group organized when during last visit of His Excellency, the Indian Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji, with His Majesty King Charles. So there was a meeting especially conducted by the All Party Parliamentary Group on Indian Sciences to see how the two great giants that we have, for the mind, body, spirit medicine, King Charles and Prime Minister Modi, they actually, put this thing together. And so we are working towards achieving, bringing this, to a fruitful, outcome. So I hope one day, that you will try and facilitate this possibility, Pavanji. And in the meantime, I wish, all my esteemed patrons and and guests who are here this afternoon, all the best, for a prosperous new year. Dhanwad. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for your kind blessings. We do hope that our Ayurveda will soon recognized by the British government also. Though all of you Ayurvedic experts are there, but the need of recognition is really prestigious and it should be there. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. And we assure you for our best cooperation for your Center of Excellence through our Indians, YouTube subscribers. We will appeal them and definitely we would like to support you. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Now I would like to request very senior legendary authority of Ayurveda, Dr. Shanta Godgamaji. Welcome, sir. Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Pawan, Dr. Sharma, that you have given us an opportunity to voice our concerns from here. And also, I must congratulate you for conducting such a impressive worldwide seminars all over the world. So you are a great person. I must appreciate that. And talking about the subject over here, Dr. Sharma, that I'll give you a little bit of brief history here, and including you mentioned about the Indian history with the British rule under the British rule in India and Sri Lanka, both countries. I must say that, that was a setback period for Ayurvedic medicine historically, because I know I read all those reports, because the British missions established and they ruled our countries for their own benefit. The own benefit was promoting Western medicine. Part of their benefit was promoting Western medicine. So understandably, they have done their job in our countries, promoted Western medicine. At the same time, our traditional medicine went under the carpet. So therefore, there was a period, even the teaching and practicing of Ayurveda has been not allowed to some extent, unofficially or unofficially. That was the past. But now the times have changed. Times have changed. So I came over here 42 years ago to UK. I'm the first person to enter officially as an Ayurvedic physician under the special work permit to UK. So I took up a consultancy and as a director to the largest residential clinic in the UK 42 years ago. And it was first I have established an Ayurvedic medical center over there. So that was a period we had a difficult time. First thing was Ayurveda was not known among the medical profession or also amongst the general public. So we had a hard job on our hands, shoulders. We have collected those days about 35, 40 years ago, we had only handful of qualified Ayurvedic doctors came to UK for a variety of other reasons. So it was my job at that time to collect all those doctors and get them into a kind of organizational framework and then do something for Ayurveda. So that was a huge mission. And those days we didn't have any supports from any embassies from India or Sri Lanka, Pakistan or Bangladesh. So we had to work along with the public and popularizing Ayurveda silently. And in other words, uncontrolled or unofficial practices. So during these 40 years of our efforts collectively, not only me, my colleagues, Dr. Maruf Atik, Dr. Sarah Singh, and a few other doctors from India, and all collectively supported to promote Ashwin Bharat, I must mention. He was a great stalwart for Ayurveda, and he supported us all the way. So we have come to a point, Dr. Sharma, now. The Ayurveda is a recognized system of medicine in UK. I like to say that because your title mentioned that the recognition of Ayurveda. So now I must say that I have been appointed 15 years to MHRA, Medicine and Healthcare Regulatory Authority, as the first Ayurvedic physician advising the MHRA as an advisor. So during my period, I have done hard work, a lot of work to convince the establishment, not only the MHRA, Department of Health, the validity and efficacy and the efficiency of such a beautiful system. So I have done a lot of seminars, a lot of talks nationally, internationally, locally, convincing the health chiefs in the UK, and all kind of work we have done. And we have come to the point now, Ayurveda is a recognized medical system in UK. So now where we go from here? So that is a question now. Am I allowed to spend a few more minutes, Dr. Sharma? Am I allowed to spend a few more minutes?
Yes, sure, sir. Sure, as much as you can.
Okay, great. Because I like to put the whole thing, a correct picture to the audience here, and also
Right,
the
sir.
India.
Right, sir.
India, because our concerns are very important. Like Dr. Amarjit Bamra mentioned that, he's a great man who have given us kind of a new life to Ayurveda in this country. Because we were struggling for a long period of time, battling with the officials, the red tapes and officials over here. Don't forget the UK is one of the strongest drug countries promoting Western medicine in the world. So we were fighting with the establishment left, right, and center. And then we really wanted the all-party parliamentary group set up in this country because we wanted to see a political influence to our mission. So that has been successfully done by Dr. Bamra. And then and now we are at the junction of the setting up the residential or center for the Center of Excellence for Ayurveda. So we are up to that point now. So we need support from India at different levels now in UK. So as I mentioned, that what are the supports we need from India? The one thing is we need to have more efficient mission over here. For example, the UK government, after 3 parliamentary select committees, they have recommended the self-control voluntary regulation in UK for Ayurveda. So therefore, going along with the government directives, so we have set up the British Ayurvedic Medical Council after nearly 3 years of debating and negotiations from various interested parties, getting all the organizations involved with Ayurveda around the table, and collectively we have managed to establish a British Ayurvedic Medical Council. That is the government's position. That means the British government wanted one single body to deal with Ayurveda in the future. So it is another step forward for the statutory regulation. We originally fought for statutory regulation, and the British government said, no, statutory, we are still not mature enough to go into the statutory regulation. And so therefore, first step for the regulation is the self-regulatory model. So self-regulatory model has to be a very transparent and effective and well organized. So like other professions over here, like say British Chiropractic Association or British Osteopathic Association or British Acupuncture Council. So similar way, they are maintaining a very good, very high standards of professionalism in the UK. So we have established our organization council in that respect. And what we have requested from India and Sri Lanka about a year ago to give us an official stamp for the establishment of Ayurveda in the UK. Sri Lankan government straight away, they have given the official approval going through the ministry and the Department of Ayurveda in Sri Lanka, and they have officially approved and endorsed our council. But we are still waiting more than, I think Dr. Amarjit knows about that, it's more than 6 months or more than that. Now, Indian government is quite silent on this. So why is that? Now, Prime Minister Modi is wanted to promote Ayurveda. And so we are fighting with the British government and institutions over. We shouldn't have any fight with our Indian government here. The Indian government should be backing us straight away for our mission and giving us all the support. So I'm quite sad to see that, it's not happening yet. So therefore, I think Dr. Sharma to take this point as a serious point with the officials, with the AYUSH and the minister, even the Dr. Sripad Naik, he visited my home a couple of years ago for a lunch, and when he visited the College of Ayurveda, and we have mentioned and discussed these issues. So still, Indian government is quite inactive in giving us a support what we require. So that is the one what we call political support for the organization and endorsement of the British Ayurvedic Medical Council. Then that is easy for Indian government also in the future to deal with one organization, likewise in what UK government is dealing with. So that is the one aspect. Then my second question is turning into the medications, the herbal products, and because as you know, British public is very concerned about the medicines. Okay, we are in a different culture here, of different culture of practice. Everything what we prescribe to our patients, we need to explain to left side and center, what is in it, what is the efficacy, what is the desired effect, and all kind of safety and all that. All those questions are asked by the patients. But that culture is not there in India or Sri Lanka, I must say. Both countries, we prescribe, and whatever you prescribe, the patient don't ask questions, and they take away and take it and drink it and then come back. So that is it. But this is different. Here is different. Story is different. During my time with 15 years with MHRA, I have seen the practice. I must explain here the practice. When you take any herbal medicine, the patient can inform their general practitioner, because every whole population is registered with the government doctor in this country. So the government doctor is the sole authority for their well-being. And therefore, just declining a call. And therefore, any unwanted effect or side effects created by our medications can be reported to the general practitioner. So then general practitioner take a note of that and what we call the yellow card scheme. There's a yellow card scheme coming up, and that yellow card goes up to the Department of Health and MHRA. that means any unwanted side effects being reported. Sorry about it, my phone goes off. And so therefore, they are compiling all the side effects produced by Ayurvedic medicines. And every month we sit down and discuss those issues. So I must say, that is because this is all started since we started the licensing program for Ayurvedic medicines in this country, all the herbal medicines. Now, the most of the products they have identified as what we call toxic products. So they contain heavy metals beyond the what you call safety limits, and the practices, manufacturing practices not really follow the guidelines of good agricultural practices, and then contamination and adulteration and mixing with even the Western drugs into the Ayurvedic medicines. So I have seen those actually results face to face with the Department of Health. That is a setback for Ayurveda. When these things get put to the public domain, so people are really attacking us left, right, and center. So, Ayurveda is not safe because it contains heavy metals. So therefore, what we need is, again, from the Indian side, how to control and how to regulate even internet trade over to UK or European countries. What kind of regulation Indian government can bring in to control the export of Ayurvedic herbs, which can cause more harm to the whole system than good by exporting unauthorized or unqualified or unattested medications to European market. So this is another serious issue. We don't want to see patients are dying here or getting some complications or liver failure or kidney failure and all these complications due to Ayurvedic. We are here to protect the Ayurveda and also here to maintain the high level degree of safety to the public here. So those are the two issues with Dr. Pawan that I'm really concerned about, and you can take up with the authorities how to control or regulate the exports of Ayurveda to the Western countries. Thank you very much for listening to me. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Really, you have blessed, and your inspiring speech is eye-opener to us in all over India. That lacking is from our government side. Government of India should support in your mission to recognize completely, as you told, communicated, that our system is recognized there. And if it is so, definitely we are eagerly waiting for golden chance or golden era of Ayurveda in UK. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Now I would like to request my senior elder brother, Dr. Venkat Joshi ji. Welcome, Dr. Venkat ji. Welcome.
Namaskar, Dr. Pawan ji and Dr. Shanta Godagama ji, Bamra ji and Agnihotri ji and all dignitaries over here. So, as you said, Shanta Godagama ji has cleared the point that system of Ayurveda has already been recognized, because as a part of herbal medicine, as a part of traditional medicine, elsewhere in the world, and lot of traditions which are accepted by WHO, and we can see now a big center for traditional, global center for traditional medicine is established in Jamnagar, and which is an authority over all traditions elsewhere in the globe. So we know that how significant WHO Tedros has said, whole world will be looking to Jamnagar and Bharat, and all Bharat will be into the rest of the world. And that is the period of integration now. We are at the verge, and our Honorable Prime Minister has already initiated, with his visit in 2018, the Indo-UK collaborations on many aspects. And last year, if you see the roadmap Indo-UK, which consists of Ayurveda as well, and all traditional systems. And that is how the initiation for the evidence to build by the researchers has already been initiated. And Bamraji, with the All Party Parliamentary Group, All India Institute of Medical Sciences, Tanuja Nesariji was here. So whatever the different researchers have already been initiated, is it enough to create the evidence to accept the pharmaceutical lobby for the regulation of our system? So it is a stepwise, and we know that NHS is at the verge of blinking, sinking, and there is no care. And you can see every day more than 500 deaths are occurring. So one or the other way of age-related. Not just ambulance is not rightly on time, and many people are dying in UK and also elsewhere in the West. This is the reality. But Ayurveda's role has greater extent over here to integrate into the futuristic model when the WHO and the Bharat government is free to support all over the globe. And I agree with Dr. Shanta Godagamaji, is not enough. Ayush Ministry has opened up into the West. And that has to be into the UK, because UK is one of the oldest traditions and richest traditions, as we know, Indo-UK collaborations. And similarly, in our Ayurveda community of UK, and we have to stand at one point. And this is prime important. And Dr. Shanta Godagamaji, Dr. Maruf Atik, Amarjit Singh Bamraji, and many are initiated with this British Ayurvedic Medical Council to bring under one umbrella, one voice for Ayurveda. And that is definitely the process which was initiated 20 years ago, is still going on into the part of regulation process. There are so many meetings and working committee reports online available, and you can see from the 2015 with the Professor David Walker reports, 26 March 2015, and since beginning of 2000, House of Lords Science and Technology Committee established, Department of Health review, and Michael Pitillow's report in 2008, and it's ongoing every year, one or the other way, Department of Health, because all our members of parliament who are supporting for Ayurveda have experienced being in India and had their treatments. And that is how they are supporting more than 30 Houses of Lords and peers and members of parliaments, and Amarjit Singh Bamraji heading in the UK Parliament, and the parliamentarians are in support. The point is here, and we have to understand why significantly. One example, if I would like to give, in the West, when it comes to the turmeric latte, which is so popular for the post-COVID to COVID situations, and what happened? There's so much of turmeric exported, and the Food and Drug Administration in USA come up with the findings that the turmeric contained a lot of mercury, silver nitrate or some metallic compounds. How did it happen? The whole turmeric organic, when it is being traded into the West. Because in India, for the glittering, shining prosperity of selling in the market, and they have dipped this whole turmeric organic into chemicals to sell, and that is unfortunate. And this is the reason why Medicines and Healthcare Regulatory Agency is worried about the natural products which are sold in the Asian groceries. You name Punjab community, Gujarati community, Keralian community, Bengal community, they all bring these natural herbs, and you name more than 40% of our Ayurvedic pharmacopoeia is available in the market. And that is just only in the fresh state, dried herbs, spices and species, Everything is available. And you can make your own formulations effectively. And that is what we are practicing over here. In spite of that, the fear about the quality, about the safety, and thus efficacy is being limited. Before it was under the European Health Regulatory Agency, and now UK is divide of the Europe. More openness and more direct relationship with the Indo-UK collaborations, that has to move forward with the Department of Health to the AYUSH Ministry. Unless the dialogues in between the health departments will not take place, and there is no any step forward to move on. To build up the evidence, it takes a long time. Practice-based evidence, researches, how much research is there to prove for the Western medicine enough to accept our protocols? But already under the social prescription and so many NHS foundations, and we are getting a lot of patients from the consultants on the basis of the food as a medicine-based lifestyle medicine, yoga practices, applied aspects of Ayurveda into the wellness. And that is already there, but it is not enough. NHS tomorrow, if invites all Ayurveda faculty, come and work and serve in the areas where it is needed to integrate, like Abhyanga treatments, Shirodhara treatments, even a simple counseling therapies, so much is there to support from Ayurveda for the mental health to the all wellness from the food and nutrition based. But where is staff? Where is the force? If tomorrow NHS accept, and this is the area where our beloved Prime Minister has to enforce thousands possibly to migrate, willing to work and serve under the NHS. It will only happen when the Department of Health directly in conjunction with the Ministry of Health. And that is the futuristic level. It is on the verge and it is taking stepwise in the progression. Our leaders, and Dr. Maruf Atiq and many more are taking this stand. That into the globalization, giving me this opportunity, Dr. Pawan Kumar Sharma ji. Namaste.
Dr.
Namaskar. Thank you very much. Yes, Bhamra Sahib, you are telling something. You are mute.
Just going to
Yes.
remind my very extremely learned friend, Dr. Venkatji, also to enlighten the audience here about the role that Ministry of Ayush can play in this endeavor for supporting Ayurveda overseas. Dr. Joy.
Croatia, with the MOU signings with the universities, had wonderful master's course.
Your voice breaking, Dr. Joshi.
Which was in the Middlesex University. Unfortunately, yes, sir, to get the master's degree from the Esvasa University. So we need this support for establishing the education standards for the master's degree. There are so many graduates who in India and they're looking for a program. And the biggest awareness will bring, because it was started in 2000 before BA Honors Degree Ayurveda program, well validated Thames Valley University where I was teaching from Manipal Academy of Higher Education. So why not these master's degree programs in UK, which was already running, have now shut down. The Ayush Ministry has to support and then support from All India Institute of Ayurveda Medical Sciences to establish the master's degree program in education. Herbs and trade and so many other things with the practitioners and products. AYUSH Ministry has to take initiation.
Your internet is unstable, doctor.
My
voice is-
internet,
Yes, yes.
I see.
Now it is audible.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So nice of you. I hope Amarjit sir has means received the answer and response, and he can talk to you directly on phone also. Thank you. Thank you very much. So now I would like to request Dr. Palita Cherasinghe ji, because his WhatsApp number is not being connected. I hope he will join soon. So thank you very much, sir. Now I would like to request Dr. Naveen Gupta ji. Welcome, Dr. Naveen ji. Welcome.
Thank you, Pawanji. Pawanji, I will stick to the topic today. And so we have done many webinars together, and I've been present in many. So I should stick to this point. And I will not be able to contribute much about this particular topic because I'm very new to UK. New means it's already 4 years now, but after that, a couple of years and more than that just passed because of COVID, and I could not, and unfortunately,
What is your concept to initiate the recognition, complete recognition? This is
no,
our
because you talked about UK, so that's what I'm telling you, that I
Yes,
don't
yes.
have much experience with the UK government, or I just attended few sessions.
whatever. Yes.
I can share a little bit my experience of getting Ayurveda recognized in Switzerland, because I moved out of Switzerland after practicing 10 years there, living and practicing 10 years there to UK. So then I was in one of the team when there is a system which is called ODA KT and ODA RAM. So we made it's a umbrella organization for Ayurvedic professionals in Switzerland. And we made that, and through that we recognized 2 courses. Kate means complementary therapist, and then Ayurveda medicine. So 2 systems are recognized, and they recognize us as Ayurveda, as naturopathy medicine. And then there is a health police in Switzerland, which is taking care of every canton has a health police, and they will verify your papers and your qualifications, what you are submitted to them. Then these kind of things with each and every professional association will happen in the end. Then they will making a national register, and from the national register they will say that this and this person is qualified to take an examination for complementary therapy. This and this person is able to take an examination on the Ayurvedic medicine therapy. And this, I was also in the team together with a member of parliament in Switzerland, with Zurich. He's a very good friend of mine. He's practicing Maharshi Ayurveda, France roots, and we are very good friends. And then Hans Riener is there now, but Hans Riener joined when I left already Switzerland at that time. And then I come to know from Hans that it is going very good in Switzerland, and everything is recognized. And I'm thinking to go back, perhaps for a week in Switzerland to practice. And because I have the right, because I've got Swiss nationality also. So that is one thing. But again, when I come to Belgium, in the beginning, Belgium did not recognize.
We should concentrate on UK, sir.
I'm sticking to topic. You said to me,
Right,
otherwise I can say to you that in UK I don't have an experience. I can say to you in UK I don't have an experience, and I can also say to you, since I moved to UK, we did not have any Ayurveda professional meeting. face-to-face meeting. Unfortunately, we could not have. So no, we are talking one by one for 10 minutes, 5 minutes on different issues. We are talking good about it. And Amarjit Bhamra has done a lot job in APPG. And we are every year we are in Parliament to organize a kind of a meet. And then the 2018 I heard about it, but I was not present there. Then I also heard that Ashwagandha project was approved in UK, but I also heard, but I cannot verify it, that all the money has gone back because they could not utilize it properly, or they could not make use of it. So basically, to be honest with you, Dr. Godgama and Dr. Amarjit Bhamra and Venkat Joshi will be much more aware about what is happening in UK. And to me, I don't know much about it. But if a meeting happens in future, which I hope it will happen this year, and if Corona does not strike in UK again, then if one-to-one professional meeting will happen between professionals of Ayurveda from Sri Lanka, from possibly from India and Sri Lanka, possibly from Bangladesh also. So then probably we all Asian country people will sit, and then we will try to bring our experiences, like Dr. Godgama just mentioned how Sri Lanka has recognized this. I'm not aware about it. So this is the first time I'm aware about it. He's a British national, so the same law applies to him in Sri Lanka when he practices. The same law will apply to me when I practice here in Sri Lanka. So that's a very good news on one hand. But Indian government, if taking time, I hope they will, because there is a bureaucracy, like red tapeism is coming from UK to India, not vice versa. So it is not that way. So India, we call it bureaucracy. Here we call it red tapeism. So basically, they have to take more time. And I think in due course of time, it will, and then when we sit together, we will share our opinion, and then probably we can bring some good points together, and then we can go again to the MHRA or to the other agencies. Then we can do our job to find out that what is the strategy we have to make. So to be honest, we don't have a strategy planned on point by point.
Dr. Pavanji,
Thank you very much, sir.
Dr. Pavanji, can I please request either Dr. Godgama ji or Dr. Venkat ji just to also speak momentarily on the huge efforts of Dr. Atiq, who unfortunately is not here this afternoon, who should have been in this meeting.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sir. I can answer a few questions, concerns raised by, because now, as I told you that, we had a difficult time because of the COVID. So we haven't had a face-to-face meetings for last 3 years. But last 3 years, because of the COVID, we have used the opportunity on Zoom to get the British Ayurvedic Medical Council established. So now what we are planning is to set the date for annual general meeting. So face-to-face meeting we are planning with the British Ayurvedic Medical Council, and then everybody can attend, and we will let you know all the personalities involved in Ayurveda in UK will attend, and then we will take it from there. And then the functionality side, we have an administrator, Dr. David Whitley is the administrator for the British Ayurvedic Medical Council. In the meantime, if you have, or any of your members or friends have any concerns about the issues, we are still supporting new practitioners coming to UK. We are still supporting, or any other technical issues. Always you can email to David Whitley. He will answer any of your questions. And then Dr. Atiq will be here, myself will be here if you want to speak to us personally. So that's what I can say to you. But the government meetings are still going on at different levels. MHRA representatives still there for Ayurveda. And yeah, that's all I can say to you. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Now I would like to request Dr. Venkat Joshi, kindly guide us. Venkatji, kindly guide us that how means we should consider that our Ayurveda is well recognized in UK, like India.
Yes, when you see the lot of Gujarati communities, and as well as Punjabi, Bengali, as I mentioned, so many traditions, they follow outrightly all these herbal supplements, and they find online also available in the market, and there are huge shops, you wouldn't believe the trade coming, and then it's like big godowns, and you name the herb is there. But somehow we are able to get all the herb species, irrespective of how many are being banned by MHRA, because MHRA has its limited force to look around how many supplements are being sold and what names, because there are so many different names culturally, traditionally differ, and that is the local names by which we get these supplements. But fortunately, we are saying, I mean, like, we are not reporting them because we can use sensibly. The point over here is the regulation is very important for us, because there are so many ill practitioners, in a way, like not well qualified, and they didn't know all the things. Then a lot of troubles came up, and last year we had a big trouble facing for Ayurveda, and that is what we are seeking help from the AYUSH ministry to support for APA. So anyway, but the point here is, and if you know the fresh herbs, fresh vegetables, fresh spices, and it is very easy, you can make wonderful Ayurvedic churna, wonderful Sitapaladi churnam, which is more effective when I get all the good quality of the herbs available in the market. And there is no compromise for this quality being traded over here. But in spite of that, the products from the different pharmacies from Ayurveda, and it has become difficult for trade. And that has to be restored only by the proper acceptance. And it's a long way as it is to build up the evidence and then accept into this society. But the shortest way is with under the roadmap with the Department of Health and Ministry of AYUSH to set up certain mutual understandings for sending the force, and as well as to the the education and trade and practitioners regulations. The government to government level should work. That is my important, because we have an efficient Prime Minister, Honorable Modi ji, who can convince the Department of Health and Ministry over here. And that is what we want at the moment to...
My question was, sir, my question was, why we are bound to say our medicine as supplement, number one? Why our doctors, Ayurvedic doctors, cannot be called Ayurvedic physician there? This is my two questions.
No. It's a fallacy, Pavanji. If you take me my example, like a Ayurveda professional, Ayurveda PhD, Ayurveda doctor, and the government has recognized and it has given the immigration status. So Ayurveda has given the immigration status. And if you are able, then you can immigrate on the grounds like I immigrated on the grounds of highly skilled migrant program. And if Ayurveda has not considered as a highly skilled subject, how would they allow me? There is no question that the Ayurvedic doctors are not recognized. They are recognized.
No, they are recognized.
They are well recognized.
They are registered there as Ayurvedic physicians, sir?
Yes.
I must add to Dr. Joshi that because we are encouraging all the Ayurvedic doctors to use the title doctor, right? Doctor. So therefore, doctor is not a prohibited title in UK. For the only thing, it's not protected title for anybody in UK. So as long as you can justify that you are a doctor of Ayurveda, then that is it. That's your doctor. So therefore, we are not diluting any of those titles here in UK. In fact, we are above the Western medicine. We are our practices are quite high level. We maintain high level. Even the fees we charge is higher than average doctor's fees, because Ayurveda is in the private hands. So I have a practice in Harley Street, the quite popular medical street in UK, and that our charges are much more higher and competitive than specialist fees. So therefore, we maintain very high standards. We are not letting Ayurveda to go down at a cheaper level. So at any cost, that is why we need this. We have these organizations and supporting public. And in other words, most of our patients are rich and famous patients. So they like safety, right? So they are safe medicine. And also, I must add that because we are in a best position now in UK, because now former Prince Charles, now he's a King Charles. So he's a great promoter for Ayurveda. And now we have a Prime Minister of Indian origin. So therefore, so we should make quite a headway during this region. And Prince Charles is backing us all the way, right? So that is.
NHS is also planning to appoint Ayurvedic physician in their NHS, sir.
That's what I said, Pawanji. If tomorrow they can invite you, but how many doctors are there?
That's right.
How much is the force available here to meet the standards and to meet the services NHS wants?
Yeah. Now, King Charles he personally told me that his mission is to see Ayurvedic doctors operating under the National Health Service. So we are quite far away from that, because one thing is we need to produce enough graduates here, and then we need to relax the laws of immigration over here from UK to from India to UK, right? Let the work permit scheme to be highly effective, and let the NHS create vacancies for Ayurvedic physicians. This is our next level, Dr. Pawan, that we will be working on it. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir, for the information. Thank you very much. And supplement, sir, our Ayurvedic medicine will be recognized as Ayurvedic medicines?
That is, we have a scheme here under MHRA. If you want to have a Ayurvedic medicine over the counter, I'm talking about the over-the-counter products. Over-the-counter products are illegal to sell without marketing authorization and claiming their health benefits. Okay, so if you are claiming any health benefit for any product, so you need to have a license from the MHRA. We have licensed more than 500 herbs that include majority are European herbs, very few Ayurvedic herbs. In fact, one day I held a seminar for Indian Ayurvedic medical manufacturers, how to apply for licenses in UK. So quite a process, but it is not impossible. It is possible for Indian manufacturers to get the British license to market over-the-counter products. That's what we need. We encourage over-the-counter products. For physicians' products, we have no issue. As long as physicians are confident about their product being dispensed or prescribed after one-to-one consultation. So this is up to the physician. The physicians are backed with the insurance cover. We British Ayurvedic Medical Council, no member can practice without the public liability insurance. So that is one of the bottom line here. So, and we need to maintain that standard. So therefore, every practitioner in UK practicing Ayurveda is fully covered on public liability.
Yeah. Very right, sir. Very right. So it is really informative for us. And I'm really in support of your all missions. I would like to humbly request you to guide me for the date and convenient time. So we will be communicating to all Ayurvedic drug manufacturers, well-to-do Ayurvedic manufacturers, to initiate the migration or export or license, MHRA license. So please guide me for your convenient date and time. We will arrange one webinar here for Indian Ayurveda manufacturers.
Please do that. I like to get those medicines over here. Right.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
I can give all the.
Now I would like to. Yes, sir. Please continue.
Yeah, I can give all the technical support and how to apply and how to succeed. Right, so the applications. Then it's a good, very what you call good income revenue for India too, or Sri Lanka. Even I have encouraged Sri Lankan manufacturers to come forward and apply for the licenses over here, UK market or European market. Yeah.
Right, sir. I am Vice President of Ayurvedic Drug Manufacturer Association of India. So we will
Brilliant.
invite them, and that's why I'm telling, sir.
Yeah.
So
Brilliant.
please communicate me convenient date and time. Definitely we will be conducting.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Now I would like to request Dr. E. Sharma from Mauritius, chair in the Mauritius, if you would like to add something.
Thank you very much, Pavanji, and namaste to all. A very happy new year to you all. Very enlightening to listen to the stalwarts who have been working all their life to uplift and stabilize Ayurveda in the UK. And very interesting to know, like as per the Ministry of Ayush documents, there are 16 countries which fully recognize Ayurveda, whereas there are 9 countries where Ayurveda is recognized as regulated practice. So NHS of UK and Ontario and Canada come under regulated Ayurveda practice areas. Now, there will be a day very soon under maybe the Indo-UK Roadmap 2030, where point number 32 highlights like promoting Ayurveda and yoga as much as possible along with the products in UK after certain standards are met with. So this is high time where the Ayush Info Cell at London can be contacted. There are 27 countries which have Ayush Information Cell. One is at London. So maybe Ayush Information Cell can be a right nodal agency which can communicate like the requirement, the real-time ground realities can be communicated to the Ministry of Ayush. And under this 2030 roadmap, Ayurveda might be having like a never before opportunity. It's a real high time for all of us to unite, press the pedal and go full throttle as much as we can. And we can, because we all have come through this very bad experience of COVID, that Ayurveda is the need of the hour, as Modi ji rightly told. Ayurveda is India's gift to the world, Pavanji. I'll be concluding with small remark.
Great, great. Very nice, very nice. EG. Before handing over the charge of valedictory to Agnihotri ji, I would like to request Stina Anderson from Sweden. Stina, am I audible to you? I hope I am not audible to Stina.
Yes, hello. You are audible.
Yes, yes, please.
Yes. Mm.
You are also residing in UK.
Yes, I've been attending the first year in Dr. Tick's education, the 4-year program. So I have just finished the first year, and now I'm having a break to implement it in my practice in Sweden. And I'm also a general secretary of the European Ayurveda Association, and I have started an association in Sweden recently. So it's very interesting to hear about what you tell you about herbs and how we can have quality standards, and that goes also for the education, both in UK and in Europe as well. And I find it very important that we develop this quality standard according to the countries, because we have so much regulations, especially in Sweden where I am, and you are not allowed to use Ayurvedic herbs as medicine, but you are allowed to use it as supplements. And that might be a little bit complicated because we are not allowed to use all the herbs. And one more thing is that you talked about, or Dr. Joshi talked about, how important it is with the government-to-government decisions or collaborations or bilateral agreements. And that is what I think to meet the need of the public or the citizens in every country, we need to address what can Ayurveda help and what are how can Ayurveda help, and what are the standards for different practitioners. Like if you are a Ayurvedic practitioner, if you can do lifestyle consultations, or if you're a doctor, what can they expect from the treatments if they follow the doctor's recommendations. That is very important. And since traditional medicine is not recognized in Sweden as I see it, it's very important to meet the modern society, and our problems here are more related to mental health, and I should say also spiritual health or existential health, because we have in our countries we think that the body, mind, and soul are divided, and that's the really what I think Ayurveda can be helpful. So we need the standards to recognize how do we treat the mental illnesses and the spiritual issues that we are dealing with in the Western world today. And of course, we need the recognition, we need a license, and we need accredited education in each and every country. And that was actually why I chose to study at the doctoratic school in UK, because I was looking for an education in Ayurveda that would be recognized, and I couldn't find any in Europe that would be that I could have a doctor's degree. But this was as close as I could find it, and it followed the document from the World Health Organization, benchmarks for training Ayurveda. And that document is also discussed now all over Europe. And also I was one of the international delegates in the conference in Goa. And we discussed these things with the World Health Organization and with Ministry of AYUSH. How can we use this document in each and every country to implement the quality standards for education in Ayurveda in Europe and all over the globe? So I think that is important. And for us in Sweden, we also need we only have 250 hours of education in Sweden, and the lowest education in the benchmarks for training Ayurveda is 3,000 hours. So we need something there in between. And how can we use that? I know that in Canada, they also address different disease programs for different diseases and Ayurvedic recommendations. To have intervention programs is so important. And we need fundings for this to make this possible. And I know that the Swedish government has lots of fundings, but we need people who are interested, in allopathic medicine, and to combine allopathic medicine with research in Ayurveda. I think that's a really great way forward also. So yeah, that's my contribution for today. And it's so interesting to hear about what you are telling in other countries. And it would be very nice to have kind of a document that would say, I heard Dr. AYUSH Sharma that you told us about that there were 11 countries that have recognized Ayurveda. And it would be helpful for all of us to meet and to discuss how you do work with these cases. And like in UK, where you've been having this parliamentary group, and what is beneficial for you to, and how you do, how you will go forward in increasing Ayurveda and spread it to the public. That's also one thing. So I think that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes, Dr. Sharma, with your permission, I'd like to
definitely, sir.
Address this. Tina, it's very interesting that you are joining our College of Ayurveda here in the UK. And I must tell you, you have quite a hard fight in front of you in the future, I can tell you, because I attended one of those, I think maybe before you were born, maybe. in Sweden, one of those first holistic medicine conference in, I think, in Sheraton Hotel in Sweden, right in the center. And Sweden is the country very, very strong in drugs, drug lobbying and influence to the government is very strong for Western medicine. So all the one of those setbacks we had is the European Union here in the UK. We always fought the British independence here, UK, thank God, because we are separated from UK, and UK is now not part of the Europe. So which is a good news for Ayurveda, because the setback period was the European Union for Ayurveda in UK. So British government couldn't do whatever they wanted to do independently. British public wanted to have this freedom for Ayurveda, but the Europeans stopped us. So therefore, now we are separated. We are more independent. But now in Europe, in Sweden, you have to fight collectively or single-handedly to promote Ayurveda or get the recognition with their government to recognize, citing as a UK as a model and follow the UK model in Sweden. And that means more independence for practitioners, more freedom to practice Ayurveda, and more freedom to validate or acceptance. Or you have to get yourself organized one day. When you have enough Ayurvedic physicians in Sweden, you can get united together and then form the council and lobby the parliamentarians and somehow to try to get some kind of independence. Don't forget that, even Europe, under the European rule, we have managed to get Europe traditional use directive passed by the European Union. So therefore, you can use that directive that is about 25 years ago. That directive is valid all over the European countries. So that means you can submit application to your health authorities for licensing Ayurvedic herbs. So that part is still available for any country in the Europe, including Sweden. Thank you.
Dr. Sharmaji, can I come in for 1 minute?
Sure, sir. Sure, sir.
So Lana, it's nice to see you after so long. We met at the Maharishi conference in London, I think, yeah? Our lady friend from Sweden. Are you still there?
Yes, I'm still here. And yeah, we actually met in Biderstein 2019.
Yeah, we met in Biderstein, yes.
Yes, we did.
After so long, and nice that you're also, trying to fly the flag for Ayurveda Rising in Scandinavia and Europe. So you'll be pleased to know that the all-party parliamentary group, which we are working with here in the UK, also managed to work with the EU Parliament, before this divorce took place, And I was recently there in the EU. They had actually invited me back to speak about traditional medicines, and we are now trying to renegotiate, some sort of a working pattern between us here in the UK and in the EU. So there is I'm trying to organize a public meeting. So if you send me your email address or your WhatsApp connection number, and I can keep you informed, and hopefully look forward to seeing you in Brussels, within the next 3-4 months. We have a very large meeting that I'm planning to organize in Brussels very soon.
Thank you so much. I will share my things with you here in the chat. Thanks.
Thank you.
Bhamra Saab, India people also can join in your meeting after 3-4 months.
Sorry, where?
You are going to arrange one meeting now at Brazil.
In Brussels?
Indian people, Indian Ayurvedic expert also can join here.
Why not, sir? You would be it would be an absolute pleasure to see you there, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you. I visited most of the country, Karachi University, Malaysia, I visited Kathmandu to deliver.
How a flower is coming on your head, sir? This is some virtual background disturbance.
In my,
Yes, sir.
photo?
White flower.
Oh, so let's see, I do.
No, Pavanji, it's not a disturbance. We should all have one.
Great. Excellent. Excellent.
Let
Looking
me remove.
nice.
I don't know by putting somewhere in my hand, it may.
Looking
Sorry
nice.
for that. Sorry for
No,
that.
looking nice, sir. So now I would like to request Professor V.K. Agnihotri, sir. Professor V.K. Agnihotri, sir, respected.
Thank you, Professor Pawan Sharma ji.
Thank you, sir.
And,
Thank you, sir.
and I welcome all the distinguished guest speakers of today and all the big dignitaries who have joined our webinar platform today. Well, a very good evening, and it had been our pleasure that such a great guys from UK, they all opened our eyes with their deep-rooted knowledge, with all the possible aspects. Though we are celebrating today the concept and the possibilities to recognize the Ayurveda in UK especially, though we are of the opinion that we stand for Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, meaning thereby to be consider every person, every living being all over the universe as our family member. So let this Ayurveda be available in all the countries. But I got a few points from all the great speakers, say 4 or 5 speakers, and for what we stand, we think and we dream for one earth, one health. When we talk about the one earth, one health, very naturally, none of the country of our planet be left. And in that manner, our respected Prime Minister dreaming to proceed with this concept in coming G20 countries meet, with the view that we Indians thinking for all the happiness of all living beings, even the trees and the say cattle and animals and everything. So today we have got 4 or 5 guest speakers, and they raised a few points. I would like to raise 1 or 2. Our very revered, very sincere and senior person, Dr. Amarjit Singh, talked about the restrictions and limitations of Government of India for Ayurveda in India. And he directed Professor Pawan Sharma ji that let India government should come forward to make more and more liberty for its expansion where in our country. Our next guest speaker, Dr. Gunawata, told, though it's our pleasure that all today the galaxy is directly or indirectly belonging to our country, India, except Professor Santhala ji. He is from Lankan, though they have got the nationality there in UK itself. But they are basically touching India's concept, civilization, and every hidden facts also. He talked about something that the say toxicity of heavy metals and all that is being criticized and is at risk. I belong to BHU, and I faced so many seminar and symposium on these issues with the Faculty of Modern Medicine regarding this Chandra poverty or metal presence, and got clear. And we in our webinars for last 2.5 years in volumes discussed with our manufacturers coming from the GMP and all that it is not making any harm or toxicity if the Vasmas are prepared properly and justified that they are not containing any heavy metals which is going to damage the user's body. It should be made very clear. On contrary, our third guest speaker, Venkata Joshi ji, talked about the particular point I noted regarding the turmeric. Turmeric is being dipped in such a chemicals here in India to promote its highlights and to make a better complexion as it is being used. It is said as Hatak Shobha. Hatak means Bajar, means it is so beautifully looking in the market, it has been purchased, though it contains steroids like Visolon. So this is the natural form of steroid which is there. It is our herbal product So these things be made very clear in everybody's mind. Dr. Naveen ji talked about his experience of other countries, say Netherlands, etc. And of course, our this Stina Anderson also, she completed her course here in UK, in London. And also I'm missing Professor Madan Thangbeluji, who is very much established there in Cambridge, and he may have a good talk on today's celebration as we are talking and confining ourselves to UK. I think that, and it's a pleasure to know by Dr. Joshi that Ayurvedic practitioners, those who are well qualified, are there in UK, well recognized as doctors. It's a pleasure. And the situation is different in US. They are not letting allow to Ayurvedic qualification holders, even as a physician. Even it's very difficult to even to touch the body as far as the massage and Abhyanga karma under the heading of Panchkarma is concerned. So it is a national policies which are having a difference. To promote Ayurveda outside India, it depends upon the inter-country relations. I mean, as we talk about the India-UK map by 2030, very much we have got a good understanding. Countries, those who are democratic country, may well understand the stand of our honorary Prime Minister. So was the country. As Dr. Ish Sharma told that it is 27 countries which have accepted the in principle. It's very good, and Ayush chair or Ayush considerations are developing day by day, and definitely as our respected Prime Minister Modi told that Ayurveda is the boon to the world. So it is going to happen. The day may be long, the day may be short, but it will happen. So with these initial remarks to our distinguished speakers, they opened our eyes. I welcome the group discussion of today's program, which has been pertaining to UK residents. And
if anybody would like to ask any question, then only now session will be continued.
Okay.
If no question is there, no continuation of, because everybody from UK has also his important time.
Yeah.
So if anybody would like to have any specific question, Dr. Kamini Dhimanji from All India Institute, Dr. B.M. Tripathi ji, so senior person are with us. If anybody would like to ask any specific question regarding
Nishant Shukla is also there, and he was also saying something. I think he was having some query.
I hope no question is there, sir, regarding UK. So we
Yes.
really communicate our sincere regards to all seniors and would like to communicate salute to their efforts, which is important for recognition of Ayurveda. And we are going to conduct one webinar with EDMA and Ayush Nirmata Sangh and all local manufacturer bodies for registration of Ayurvedic products in UK. And I hope, I'm confident our senior guide, Dr. Shanta Godgamaji, Amarjit ji, Dr. Venkat sir will definitely guide us to simplify the process. So in the last, I would like to request again Dr. Venkat sir for his final comments. Venkat sir. Then Chantaji. After Chantaji, we will be concluding the session. Dr. Venkat Joshi ji.
Yes, namaste, namaste.
Namaste ji.
Yeah, in UK, we have
Kindly off your video, then voice can come.
and that is what extra practices.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah. For all the para-panchakarma procedures being followed, we are insured for basti treatments as well. And if not, the serious panchakarma treatments. So there is a lot is going on with the established centers of health and wellness in Ayurveda. For Kerala Panchakarma, we can see in every corner of the London. But then our practices are being much free, understanding the value of the food and
Your net connection is weak, sir.
and there's a lot of prescription. Hanji sir.
Okay.
జోషి గారు మధ్య మధ్యలో ఆగిపోతుందండి. డాక్టర్ జోషి గారు మధ్య మధ్యలో ఆగిపోతుంది. నేను మహబూబ్నగర్ నుంచి
In
మాట్లాడుతున్నాను.
common language, sir.
నమస్కారం సార్. ఆగిపోతుంది.
నమస్కారం. బాగున్నారా? క్షేమమా?
క్షేమము, చాలా సంతోషము ప్రసాద్ గారు.
ప్రసాద్ గారు, నేను జగదీష్.
Thank you, Joshi ji. Thank you very much. Now I would like to request Dr. Shanta Kodgama sir for his final comments.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you for your contribution for Professor Agnihotri. And my concern, I would like to remind for Indian authorities that we highly appreciate the Prime Minister Modi's mission to promote Ayurveda globally. But my concern is when you are exporting a product or exporting a system to particularly to the European world, so you have to make sure that the safety, efficacy, and quality of all those products being guaranteed to the particularly to the West, because that is where you are winning the market. So when you win a market, when you are manufacturing a product, say British product, globally known as a well manufactured product, okay, so well accepted comparing to Chinese products. So therefore, when India is exporting a product, so you must make sure that is 100% guaranteed and succeed of the efficacy of the product. That is what we are asking from the Indian authorities, to have established some kind of control over exporting the product. Otherwise, Ayurveda will be short-lived in the West, because we have so many enemies waiting to fire at us, right? So even the simple side effects will be headlines tomorrow. So that is the message for India. If you are looking for long-term success for Ayurveda, then you have to have a proper regulatory mechanism of exporting Ayurveda to the rest. Thank you.
In our India, sir, MSME are more 80% in comparison to 20% well-to-do Ayurvedic companies. Number one. And this is the general perception in India, because I was with Imami and Jandu for 33 years. So it is general perception in India that all fees are too much high. We were also exporting there in UK our cosmetic FMCG products, but the fees of registration is also important factor. And if there any subsidy will be planned, definitely our Indian industry, medium enterprises will definitely come into the picture, which are more in comparison to well-to-do, and they are having innovative ideas, innovative products, innovative researches, but they don't have much fund to invest to register their products abroad. This is the problem faced by us in our associations. They are interested to register their products surrounding India also, not UK only, but they are failed because due to lack of legal knowledge and fund. Only both the two.
Yeah.
So thank you very much, sir, for your valuable guidance.
Thank you.
Please communicate the date and time, convenient time to me, so we can arrange one webinar for registration of Ayurvedic products in UK.
Brilliant. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Good night. Good night to all, sir.
Good night.
Thank you very much for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night, sir.
Good night to all. Good night.
Good night to all. Good night.